From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Good Wednesday morning. It's 5:30. Welcome to Montana This Morning. I'm Victoria Hill. Thank you so much for getting your day started with us. And good morning to Miller over in the Weather Center with full moon right behind you.
Yeah.
Right behind your noggin.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, the way there. Yeah, it's actually 97% illuminated. We're starting to get into that waning gibbous phase.
Yeah, that 3%. Yeah. Oh, I see it. Yep.
Yeah, just slightly, but it's gorgeous out there. Did you have a chance to get out there and see that super pink moon Monday night, Tuesday morning?
I think when I came to work, I maybe saw it.
Yeah. And I think our next one will be May 26th, and they call it the flower moon.
Ooh, pretty.
Hopefully it will be pretty, yeah. But yeah, just a great shot there, courtesy of the Stockman Bank weather cam. Folks, it really is a nice start this morning. We should be in the upper 30s starting out. We're not there. We're at 44 right now. Although we may cool down just a little bit as we wake up this morning. Feels like 37. Humidity, that's a big thing today. We've got dew point around 25. The humidity is less than 50%. Winds out of the west at about 14 miles an hour. The reason I mentioned that humidity, that we do have this little clipper system that's coming in from Canada. It looks like it's going to push more off to our east. But if it does try to kick up any rain, it's just so dry out there that I think that stuff's going to just dissipate. It's going to evaporate before it hits the ground. It's called virga. So that's how dry it is out there. We're going to continue to see those dry conditions over the course of the next few days. Temperatures around the horn right now, Big Timber at 44, Roundup at 41. Down in Cali, we're at 34, Basin 35, Crow Agency at 39. Highs today mainly in the 60s, but I'm going to pull the trigger for Hardin and say 70. I'll say 70 here in Billings as well. A lot of sunshine to try to get us there. We'll see some clouds mixing in, but of course we are going to stay dry. And Friday, a chance to hit record high temperatures. If we get into the 80s, that's the first time we've hit the 80s since I believe October 10th of last year when we hit 85. So definitely a good shot. We could see some records on Friday before we cool back down again.
Yeah, it's easy to get excited about this, but I think when the high hits on Friday and we have to turn our air conditioners on in our car, we're going to be like, oh, why is it so hot? So, yeah, it goes both ways, I guess.
Oh, well. Can't win.
Yeah, you just can't win, weatherman. Sorry. All right, I'll get to the news. We begin this Wednesday with the latest on last week's standoff. It turns out the suspect who barricaded himself in a West Billings home shot himself. An autopsy confirms 26-year-old Michael McClure turned a gun on himself after being hit with multiple non-fatal shots by the SWAT team. McClure has a significant criminal record in Yellowstone County. He was also a suspect in last week's shooting on the 4100 block of King Avenue East. McClure's record doesn't stop there. In January of 2019, he was arrested in Muscle County and charged with 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanors for stealing 2 cars and then attempting to escape from the Muscle County jail. He pled not guilty and was later released. In August of 2020, McClure was arrested in Powell County on suspicion of felony robbery and inflicting bodily injury to another person. Then just last month, he went to trial in Muscle County and made a plea deal to plead guilty to most of the charges, but he never showed up in court despite having an ankle monitor. Meanwhile, the woman captured during the incident faces a felony charge of deliberate homicide by accountability. Court documents say 31-year-old Christy Chavez and McClure abducted and assaulted 33-year-old Dennis Gresham at the Yellowstone River campground in Billings. Chavez told authorities the two approached Gresham's van early Friday morning and asked for a cigarette and a ride. Gresham told them no, and the suspects allegedly forced their way into the van with guns. Chavez says the altercation continued in the van. As Chavez climbed into the driver's seat to drive away, she says she heard 5 gunshots and told detectives she thought Gresham was dead. Later that day, McClure and Chavez are accused of leading police on a high-speed chase. Authorities captured Chavez and McClure broke into a nearby home before the standoff began. And there's even more gun violence to report. A man is in the hospital, shot while driving his car on Billings South Side. Police say the 39-year-old victim was driving on the 900 block of South 31st Street around 11:30 last night when he was struck by a single bullet. The man did not see anyone, and police do not have a suspect. The victim's injuries are non-life-threatening. Police are investigating the crime. Now we go to Helena, where a bill implementing legal recreational marijuana is finally ready for a signature from Governor Greg Gianforte. The House passed the Senate's version of HB 701 yesterday. The bill went on a legislative roller coaster ride this session. It was heavily amended twice, tabled, and revived. Despite passing, the bill drew plenty of opposition from more conservative Republicans who have issues with the use of tax revenue from marijuana. Their main concern being a provision allowing counties to ask for a local option tax on marijuana sales.
Plant your flag on this day, because this was the day that we opened the door to this new tax that will find its way into communities as that argument gets traction. And we will rue the day that we did this.
House Bill 701 gives medical marijuana providers their first crack at selling their product for recreational use. They'll be eligible for licenses in January of 2022, and only established businesses will be allowed to enter the market for the first 18 months. Governor Greg Gianforte says he's encouraged by the bill and will carefully review it when it reaches his desk. Legislative Republicans are ramping up their investigation into the state judiciary, hoping to determine if there's bias within its ranks. A special committee leading the investigation is now expected to work past the current legislature. A new bill would extend funding for the investigation for 2 more years and is likely to pass this week. Republicans will also hire a special counsel. That's a lawyer with the power to examine all records, books, and files of any department, agency, commission, board, or institution of the state of Montana. Democrats are outraged by the investigation.
There's a separation of powers in Montana as well as nationally, and I think this committee was set up to try to impact the reputation of the judiciary, and I will be a no.
The committee will issue a report tomorrow morning, further outlining what it intends to investigate. The legislative session is expected to adjourn tomorrow. Now closer to home, plans for the major renovation of Metro Park are rounding into form. Officials held a listening session in Lockwood and took input from Yellowstone County residents. Many suggested better entrances and exits for vehicles to the south onto Old Highway 87. Officials will take more ideas from the public today at Laurel High School and tomorrow at Yellowstone Valley Electric Co-op in Huntley. Both meetings start at 5:30 p.m. President Joe Biden will address Congress for the first time tonight. He's expected to announce his American Families Plan, which includes a $200 billion commitment to make preschool free for all 3- and 4-year-olds. The administration says the investment would benefit 5 million children and save families an average of $13,000. President Biden believes the plan will pave the way for the best educated generation in U.S. history. And due to the pandemic and the scaled-down nature of tonight's address, the White House will not name a designated survivor. The tradition dates back to 1981 and refers to a person chosen not to attend to guarantee the continuation of government in case of a tragedy. The White House did not name a designated survivor for tonight's speech because most of the president's cabinet will not attend. Tonight's events will be limited to 200 people by invitation only. And before we take a break, our look at the athletes and people who make the Special Olympics Montana State Summer Games a special event continues in Box Elder. MTN's Tom Wiley introduces us to a team that is small but mighty.
These eyes belong to 17-year-old Alyssa Dubois. She might be the most popular student at Box Elder schools.
Everybody loves her. She's always smiling. I don't think she's ever had a bad day. And I have a lot of bad days. So when I come to school, it's awesome to see her because she brightens my day.
Dubois was born with Down syndrome and is mostly nonverbal. But behind these eyes is a passion for people, a drive to compete, and a whole lot of personality.
Whenever she sees you, she either does the slime trick to you, gives you hugs and kisses. Yeah, she's so sweet.
Alyssa was the first member of the Box Elder Special Olympics team, which formed 2 years ago, thanks to the efforts of program director Annie Bowman and a whole lot of dedicated students and staff.
Hey! This one.
When Alyssa went to her first Special Olympics event in Havre, it was also the first time those eyes had seen another person with Down syndrome. The moment was life-changing.
The reaction she had, it was like looking in a mirror. She just would look at her athlete she was competing against, and she didn't care if they won or lost. She was just happy that They were her new friends.
Soon after, the Box Elder team added a second member, a 9-year-old Angel LaRocca, who brings perseverance and a larger-than-life personality to the Bears.
I love Special Olympics, and I just like to sit around until it's my turn in the Special Olympics.
But for the Box Elder athletes, Special Olympics means more than just medals. It's unlocked confidence and potential and keeps them moving forward.
I think Alyssa's greatest accomplishment would be independence. Once she realized she could do the things that she didn't think she was capable of, she knew right away she could do more.
And Angel works harder than anybody else in the school, and he doesn't want you to go easy on him. He wants to win, and he wants to push himself to get better every day, which is awesome.
How many gold medals do you think you're going to end up with when it's all said and done?
Probably 100,000.
The team consists of just 2 athletes, but whenever Angel and Alyssa compete, they have the love and support of an entire community behind them.
The administration does everything they can. You know, they have never said no, said everybody's their best friend. So it's great to see the support from everybody in the community.
Tom Wiley, MTN Sports.
Thank you for starting your day with us here on Montana This Morning.